Hey YouTube, I'm Ross Magas, and welcome back to Not Real Life. Today we're going to do something I haven't done before. This is going to be one of those breakdown videos. We're going to cover the God of War footage from E3, released by PlayStation, obviously by PlayStation. And I'm going to do one of those, like, I'm going to go frame by frame. I have a couple, I have actually more notes than I thought I did here. And I'm going to cite the time code for all of you watching based on my notes. You hear the papers flipping. That's my notes. And let's just go through it, and I'll tell you where we are in the video in case you want to find it yourself after you're done watching. So let's go ahead and start. Sony Interactive Entertainment presents. Okay, we got a boat confirmed. Actually, one of the things I did want to point out immediately was actually this part right here. You got to see him pulling up on it. And I don't think it'll be something important. But, oh, sorry about that sound if you don't like the sound of reversing. But this giant guy here in the background, and I'll put like, let me put my mouse here, right here. You can see there's like a giant helmet. I don't know if this will actually be anything worth noting at all in the game, but it's kind of cool that it's lore building. Maybe it's like a frost giant, as Thor likes to always go off on them frost giants in Norse mythology, but we'll find out once we get more into the game. You can barely see it, but right here, you'll actually go over this later in the video. There's runes on his chest. So obviously, since this is Norse, there's going to be a lot of runes. They're going to give powers and all that cool stuff, lore building, world building. Kudos to Santa Monica for like making everything look fucking amazing like usual. All right. So here we get the first full view of the axe. As you can see, it's got like some special stuff going on it. It's got cool little patterns here. I actually want you guys to pay close attention to this thing right here. I'm not sure what that is. And these two guys, they look important. And I actually saw later in the video they change a bit. Also, I thought this was a cool little touch right here. This it basically just holds the axe to his back, but it also looks like the God of War Omega symbol, so that's cool. I think it's cool. This looks like frosted. And there's runes here, and I can't tell. Obviously, we can't tell from the video, but it makes me wonder if you can like upgrade them, and it will change the appearance of the axe or anything. But as of right now, only thing I can say that I've seen in the video is these two, and I'll show you guys a picture of that later. So here we are. He's about to talk. Actually, let me go back a bit. So this is the first shot in this trailer, actually, of the sun. I forget his name right now. Pay attention, because these arrows here are red right now, and they're not that way throughout the whole trailer. I've seen at least 3 colors in this video. Oh, here are those runes I was telling you guys about. I've seen at least 3 different colors, and I'll point them out when we get to those parts. Actually, if you've already seen this video, this trailer, you can see he's already wearing the shield. So this must take place later on in the game, it seems. Then, I guess before he gets the shield. I don't know. It'd be cool. I can't think of anything it'd be related to. I have no real depth of lore on Norse mythology. But it might be Norse. It might be he brought it with him. There. So this scene here is really cool because you get to see whenever he activates it, you can see like, I guess this is like frost powers or something. It's like emanating, and you can see the effect is just kind of radiating out. And now, yeah, it has like a little, it's causing mist to appear because of condensation. God, this game looks so good though. Another thing I want to point out is he's got this little sack here, which they make a big point of in the trailer later. I have no idea what it's for. I'm gonna guess because of the behind the scenes Sony held during E3. It's like an hour. I'll put the link in the description for you guys. But a guy who started the show walks out, and he's got this bag right here, and he was like a sand artist, and the thing took a little bit too long, but it was pretty cool. And they used the bag and it had dirt in it, so it makes me wonder, since Kratos had to deal with like ashes and all that kind of stuff, that's why he's like so pale. Maybe it's gonna be more of that. Pay attention to this knife. It seems pretty important throughout this trailer. Maybe not in the scene, but it is important later as he keeps giving it to the sun. And I mean, you guys probably already know this, but this hand motion he does right here is the Mjolnir style like recall thing, which is pretty cool. I'm really glad that they have that in there, so you'll be able to like throw it and bring it back. And I'm excited to get to do that in the game.
You said I was cursed.
Cursed.
You think I'm weak because I'm not like you.
You do not know everything, boy.
No. But at least I know the truth now.
So this actually isn't like let me pull back to that picture. This actually isn't something I came up with. It's my brother. He hasn't decided on a net name yet. We're gonna call him Tim Popo right now. He pointed out to me that the boat shows up a lot in the trailer, so it's obviously going to be a travel mechanic. I haven't really heard anyone else talking about it, so it's going to be a travel mechanic. It's some method, some traversal method. So it'll be kind of cool because you'll be able to move it. I guess these are obviously cutscenes, so you can't do it then, but there are scenes that show that you can use it. So actually, this scene here, I'd like to pause. The first couple times, I was really surprised because, like, right here, there's this huge ass face with the thing stuck in his head, and I didn't see the face. I think it's because I saw these guys first, even though it's so small and they're glowing. And this is the thing I've noticed. I'm guessing these are the red arrows, just in case you were wondering. I couldn't really tell what color they are here, but this is one of the enemy varieties they show in the game. And the bluish enemies I've noticed tend to have more human looking features. They haven't been like really messed up aside from the fact that they glow. We also have the return of a head item. I'm not sure who this guy is. He's cool looking. He's got demon horns and the glowing eye. This giant though in the background, who is clearly already dead. I have no basis for this aside from like this right here, and you can see there's this giant thing, and to me, this looks like a realistic style hammer kind of thing. So it makes me wonder if this is Thor and he's already dead, or maybe this is post Kratos and Kratos has come back. But like, given the amount of snow, maybe he's already dead or something's happened. But yeah, I'm guessing this is Thor, and this is the hammer. And on the hammer, you can see before it fades to black, there is a little sigil here. I can't make it out because it's only part of it, and by the time you see it, it like fades out, as you can see. It looks like, yeah, no, I can't really tell. I think these wolves are actually worth pointing out. I can't remember their names, but in one of the things I do know about Norse mythology, I'll put like a little text thing so you guys can see it. Odin is known to have two wolves. And there you go. There's the second one. They're kind of like familiars, pets. I don't know what they call them in Norse mythology. It makes me wonder if these are related to Odin, because it's pretty deliberate scene. For if it's just a wolf, would be kind of a random thing to show in a game like this. Here's the close up of the sack. The reason I'm saying obviously this is important is because they're calling attention to it. You can see he's got this kind of sorrowful, remorseful look going on, and he's looking directly at it, and it just makes me think of like one of those urns and stuff, and it would keep with the Kratos mythology, like, you know, for it's not ironic, it would be, what's the word, it would be heavily symbolic because he has the ashes of his first family with him, and his new kid, like they're heavy, like these trailers heavily imply to me that the mom is already dead. So maybe she, like, why did she die? Who is she exactly in relation to the world they're in right now? And I'm getting that vibe that this has to do with her, and maybe it was like a gift from her, or maybe it is her. you know, based on God of War style, but we don't know right now. This is just completely speculation. So
Here I thought your kind.
this scene is pretty cool. Everyone noticed the vase later that's about to come up. It's got Kratos on it, but one of the things I do want to point out is this cool looking orb right here. Obviously, most people probably noticed it, but one of the things I did notice is that it's got this like leaf, this tree pedestal going on, and it's got a green aura, so maybe it's like a natural quote unquote aura, and it makes me think of things like Yggdrasil's. I guess I know a little bit about it, but the cool thing about this room is like I can see lots of stuff here that seem to be from all over the world. Like this dagger looks like Middle Easternish. This thing looks kind of, I don't know why, but it keeps making me think Chinese, but I'm pretty sure it's not. It could be Egyptian. There's like a little cobra on it here now that I look at it actually. I have no idea, but like the styles of all these things are vastly different. So this is clearly someone's plunder stash. You can see some antlers and cool stuff here in the background. I love these tree pillars and the ring of fire, obviously, that leads up here. It's just really cool world building going on right now. And obviously it's old, as you can tell with the cobwebs. So we could tell that the mythos of Kratos is already existing in this world, and that's really cool. So like he's either famous slash infamous, and you can see that his story is pretty well known, that it's made its way over to Norse lands, and I wonder what they tell the story of, like is like the story of the ghost of Sparta, and how deep does it go over the rest of the games? Are they gonna like try to do like one of those weird retcon things that games tend to do sometimes when the next game comes out in like a long time? If they didn't like certain features in the first early games, but that remains to be seen. So here's another axe showcase, and this is actually another type of enemy. You can see these guys are red or orange, I guess. And when we get closer, you'll see that they're actually a little bit deformed looking. Let's try going without motion blur. So he's got like, yeah, he looks a little bit decayed. Kratos smashing his face in with his elbow, which is always great. There's a better shot of this giant ruby thing later, so we'll talk about that later. He's got horns, I think. I mean, this is a helmet. But yeah, all the red enemies I've noticed look more decayed or decrepit or like just demonic looking in general. This is probably an execution style kill that Kratos is famous for. You know, like enemies weak, hit circle, and he like just rips them apart. I'm interested to see how different the fighting will be from the old one. Because like I'm not sure why, but it seemed like everyone felt like collectively God of War was kind of like a tired series, and like now they've come back and they've completely renovated it. It's become modern, updated, and that's amazing because I love this game series. Oh, there was another one. Kratos just, kicking ass. It's always fun. Let's watch this in slow motion. Oh, there's a lot of motion blur, so smashing guy into the ground. Enemies can bounce. This is another one of those execution style kills. And here you can see clearly the guy looks a little bit skeletal. He's just basically just ripping his ass apart. And be done with that. I don't know why this tree makes me think of Yggdrasil. I mean, it seems pretty small, but the reason I want to call it out is because of this big ass building. Sorry about that. This big ass building here has like this, I don't know, this keeps making me think of a gate, and maybe it connects to like the Rainbow Bridge. So they're trying to go there because he has business with the gods, because Kratos always has business with the gods. But who knows? We'll find out. I mean, obviously still more speculation. We're about to see the only female NPC shown in the trailer. And she's the one you hear talking about the gods don't take kindly.
The gods of these realms don't take kindly to outsiders.
Exactly.
When they find you, and they will, they'll make things difficult.
Wait here.
Here, this is the first scene where you see him giving the knife. And it was actually, after watching this a couple of times, but it took me a while to notice, the kid has tattoos here. They're all runes, all up on his neck and his arm. So maybe he's protected actually. Um, this is another. This is just some inside locale. I can't really glean any clues about it, but here, excuse me, you can see the enemies are glowing blue and they have less of that decayed look. So I guess blue could be equated to frost and they're preserved, quote unquote. And here we get to see a little bit more close up again of those red type enemies and some more of the combat mechanics. So we have some regular attacks. He can throw his weapon, obviously. This is where they show off the shield. Motion blur. Why motion blur? So yeah, here, look. This guy doesn't even look humanish anymore in his face, at least. It could be a combination of his helmet or something, but he's clearly got like a lava theme going on, fire theme. So maybe it's like Game of Thrones confirmed for God of War. This guy's doing something here. I didn't notice this earlier. Oh, he summoned his weapon. That's really cool. I didn't even notice that, how many times I've been watching this. But I like the fact that he can melee, and I think that's his axe right there on the ground, actually. So we just passed it. This is the axe. I don't think it's from the shot earlier where he threw it, but this is definitely his axe. Is just sitting here on the ground. Oh, and I didn't see that till just now, actually. So you can see, now that we're going slow motion, they've also confirmed that the sun has a dedicated button for him to interact with you or the environment around you. So here, you can see he jumps on while you're like kicking the shit out of somebody to help you, and he restrains him. And then like while he's being hit, he like jumps off and he fires he fires an arrow really quick right here. I keep pointing with my hand like right here. Bam. And I think that's the arrow right there. Oh no, he's still drawing the arrow. Boom. And more attacks. This is a cool shockwave thing. At first I didn't see it because it was like, it took me a second to see it because the background is also white. But like the shockwave appears to be frost powered, which you'll see a bit later. This is another kind of enemy. Like I'm just gonna call it a troll. Looks like a gorilla, Bigfoot Yeti kind of thing. And he like just slams it, knocks the guy back, which is cool to show because you can knock back big enemies in the older games. Not every attack, you would need like really heavy attack to knock back the enemies. So that could just be the equivalent of that. Here we have the sun restraining the guy again, and to me these look black, but it could just be the lighting. So these might still be the red arrows. But we have a much better look at these guys who are not deformed blue enemies until Kratos like fucking like destroys him. Oh, there we go. And the sun appears to have more than one kind of arrow type, I'm going to guess, because the arrows are different color. And this one here shoots electricity. So it could be like an AoE or just additional like DOT type of damage. But from here, we can't really tell very much. Oh, yeah, there was that cool shockwave. And here you can see, like, I'm pretty sure these might just be effects. Maybe they're like things also being shot out with the shockwave. Oh, there's another blast against the golem. This makes me think they're destructible environments. Because the guy like smashes it, and this was a pretty clearly like conspicuous building. So we got this giant troll guy, and he's just like wrecking shit with his lava stick. That's where we're gonna the lava stick. And he's pretty big, motherfucker. This looks like dual wielding, so I guess Kratos is having a shield, so he can still use it for what its purpose actually is, to actually defend with. But it looks like you'll need it in the next scene. So we got more fighting here. Nothing. It looks like an execution style without the UI. This is something I'm really interested in because, sorry to stop it, like right at the cool scene. Like he's about to get the shit kicked out of him, and I'm not sure if this is a cutscene because it looks like it's not. But it like transition like one of those mid boss transitions. So it could be a cutscene and he's transitioning to a different part of the arena for where the boss is gonna be. But it also makes me wonder if they could do this in a just a cinematic way to add cooler stuff to your fight. So like certain enemy attacks could just like example hit you like this and like, oh damn, that was not cut. Okay. Wait, actually it is cut. Yeah, I think there's a cut there, but that might just be a camera panning. So those might be two different scenes altogether, actually. That's
Wow, that was
actually I want to pay attention to this guy for a little bit. I can't tell anything based off of his armor, but one of the things you can tell, aside from the fact that he's eating an apple, is let's get a little bit closer. Here is actually a really good shot of this. You can see he's got a hammer on his side and he's got some nails here, or like I'm guessing it's nails. It looks like a toolkit a blacksmith would have. You got like his little grinding wheel back here, and there's some stuff hanging here. I'm not sure what it is. I can't quite make what this is out. It's shiny next to the fire. So this guy seems to be a blacksmith type character, and he's wearing big leather gloves, which might support that as well. But here's where, oh, actually, before we get to that, if you pay attention right here, you can see these runes are slightly different from what it was in the beginning. And I'll put a picture right here on the side for you guys to compare it. But it makes me think these are either like, I'm thinking like the gem system, like in Diablo, where you could like swap them out and they give different effects or different attack types, maybe, or maybe it's just upgraded versions, and the little rune gem thing like changes its appearance to match the upgrade level. Boom. So this scene, before we get to this guy, back to this guy, there are these giant feathers here. And I think they're feathers. I can't really tell because, like, the quality. Yeah, they look like feathers. And it makes me think of Odin again, because Odin is known to have as well 2 ravens, and they represent concepts. The wolves also represent concepts. It's like wisdom and knowledge or something like that. I can't remember exactly. I'll put a little annotation on the screen for you guys. So this part is really cool because this actually was more revealing than I think people might have initially realized. So here he is, and obviously he's freaking out because Kratos threw a fucking axe at his face. And he's like, wait a second. And he's like, wait. And he's like, hang on a second. And he's surprised once he gets a closer look at the axe. And so he might have something to do with the actual creation of this thing, or he knows the guy, you know, that kind of thing, or he understands something about it that he's going to be revealing something to people. Or I mean people, us the players. So he was super surprised and looked back even, like double take. So we got scalable walls. Kratos, God of War did have scalable walls in the past. However, they were always like, see, this area looks clearly scalable. Like there were always walls that had special textures that you could know this is scalable. And I'm wondering how they're going to do traversal in this sense, whether it's going to be the same way where only certain walls can be climbed, or can you just climb anything that you want? I guess Breath of the Wild has spoiled everybody in that sense, so that remains to be seen. This is something I want to call out, is like these cool enemies seem to be a third type. We're going to see a little bit more of them in just a sec. But you can see here around the axe, there's this weird effect, which I think is just a cold effect. Because the axe is glowing, you can tell that it's activating its power. But these guys are pretty cool looking. They make me think of like Pan from obviously Pan's Labyrinth, or like Warcrafty type things. I wonder what kind of enemies they are. I'm gonna guess magic because this is dark foreboding, mist area. They've all got staves. They don't look physically intimidating, So probably magic enemies.
Attacked by all manner of creature.
It's Winston. This night guy is pretty cool. He also has the blue glow, so that goes back to the ice type guys who are humanish looking. Here we have a close up of the sun.
That warrior must not feel for his enemy.
This confirms that there are regular humans that can be killed. And here, as you can see, let's see if we can get a clear shot. Oh, damn. Gut check. Yeah, so you can see he's... Actually, this looks like... What is this? Ice burn? Freezer burn? Freezer burn. Yeah, let's just call it freezer burn. And he's glowing with his blue aura before Kratos gut checks his face. So we've got a bunch of like execution style kills, and here you can see this guy actually kind of looks like a tree. I can't really make out these textures. Hang on, let me see if I can zoom in a little bit. No, that's not what I want. No, the video is only 1080 quality, so if I zoom in, we're just gonna get pixelated. There's no zoom in enhance, but it does kind of look like a tree. And here we have more of those guys, and they've got like crazy busted up looking armor. Here's a good shot of Kratos' face, and we see that giant gem in the background. Maybe it's a god artifact. It's got runes on it. I can't really see what's attached to here, but it looks pretty important because it's a giant glowing red thing. Maybe this is an arm? Like it's like a bracelet belonging to one of the gods? Or a giant? Woo! Oh, slam that shit. There we go. Different arrow color. So I'm going to assume that the arrows are, tied to the type of arrows he can shoot. Yeah, sorry, my phone went off.
It is long and unforgiving.
So we got more climbing. And this looks like another one of those enemies. I'm going to tie him in with the enemies that were in the fog just because of the horns. And he's latching out. And, oh, it looks like he's grabbing the kid now that I look at it. Stopping it at the frame. Huh. That was a cut. So Kratos reacts. Yeah, he grabs him. Yeah, it cuts to a different scene. Well, here we are, and the kid stabs him in the fucking face. You can see he's got glowing white eyes. He apparently has white blood, too. Yeah. These, like, goaty, cool horn looking mystical. We're going to call them the white type enemies because they have glowing white eyes and white face paint and white blood. Mm-hmm.
Not everyone is bad. Mother always said to be open to those who can help.
So this thing here, this guy's also like a smith. You can tell his hammer is back here. He's got his little tool belt. I can't quite tell what the hell this thing is because I have no context for it. This may be a rune. Like, I have no idea. The only thing that comes to mind is like a cattle prod. Like, it's like a stamp or a bolt of some kind because the edge here looks like it flares out and then tapers in again. But yeah, I have no idea. And he's showing him the axe, so maybe he's going to add an ability to it. I mean, this could be a rune, but I have no idea. So here you can see that the boat looks like it's going to be one of your traversal methods. Kratos, I guess, doesn't have a horse, but he has a boat. Here's a scene where the second time he's giving him the knife, and I wasn't paying attention to the voiceover.
Who you were before doesn't matter. This boy is not your past, he is your son.
This looks like it's going to activate in, cool video gamey way. I like these cool... This just, I don't want to call it out just because it looks cool. These giant stone guardian things that'll probably come to life and try to wreck your shit once you activate whatever the glowing orb behind the kid is in this scene.
He needs his father.
She grabbed his hand. I'm not sure what that means, but it seemed important enough for them to call it out to us. This is a cool part because this is actually the body of the serpent that you see in the trailer, and I'm not sure who this is. This gives me Greek vibes, though. What's he holding? Oh, it's a hammer? I guess this is Thor? Like earlier? But not? Who knows? But this is clearly a statue of something important-ish. It's got... This looks like a hammer now that I'm looking at it, but I have no idea because we don't see it for that long, and it's not that clear.
What is this?
It's the world serpent.
And that's important because that actually might lend insight into why, as the kid says later, it wants to help them. If I'm not mistaken, the world serpent is part of the Ragnarok process, like the end of the world thing. It starts with a J. I can't remember, and I'm not sure how it's pronounced either. But I think it's like the kid of Loki or something. These things get really complicated. This is him giving back the axe from the beginning of the trailer.
What does it say?
This is an interesting design for like a snake overall. It's pretty cool looking. This is interesting. I guess it makes sense because it's a seaborn creature, so it must need its nostrils up top. But I can't think of anything else about that that's interesting. And of course, we get the title shot, and it's been done up to look all cool and Norse, and it's got runes all over it. I don't know if I wonder if runes are like if they're pictographic or if they're like sound based, because these would make sense if they were like each one was a word, I guess. It could also just be for the cool looking effect. They might not mean anything at all. I guess if you know about runes, let me know in the comments. And yeah, that's it. Early 2018. That's when we get this. Excuse me. And I'm looking forward to God of War. Santa Monica Studios looks like they're crushing it as usual. They got the ice effect on their logo, and the only thing left at the end of this trailer is the box art. And I'm kind of hoping this is just placeholder box art because I'm not really enamored with it. It's, I mean, I guess if it's about Kratos and son, and like that's what this tells you, but maybe you'll have one of those you could flip it out and it's got like way cooler art on the inside. But that's really it. That's the only thing we've seen in this trailer, and this is my first analyzing a video kind of trailer. Analyzing a trailer kind of video. As always, I'm Ross Magas. This is Not Real Life. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys on some more E3 footage that I'm combing through right now, but I haven't really gotten a chance to get to yet. And I'll see you guys on the next video.